Giving it a couple minutes. Gonna get the.
Oh, I hear you.
You hear me now? Welcome,
Yes, I
Estamata.
do. Hi, Rabbi.
Oh.
Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
Oh. Okay. Let me share the. There we go. See if anybody else is in the waiting room. Right now, everybody's in. I'm gonna put
Who's
everybody.
that? Oh, this is crazy.
Okay. You should hear me. As the Malka, give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me. She might be. Stop sharing. Okay. I'm going to wait another minute. Let me see what the time is. Yeah, we got another minute, and then we'll start. Give a few more people time to come on. And I'm going to. Good evening, Julie. See a few more people are joining, which is great. See who else has come on. Okay. So we're ready to begin. Welcome, welcome everyone to another pre-Shabbat prayer and meditation service. It's good to see you all. I hope you could hear me loud and clear. Dave, it's going to be your job this time because that's who I could see. Give me a thumbs up if you could hear me loud and clear. You just go like this. Can you hear me? Perfect. Amazing. Okay. It worked. Okay. So we'll begin with Havenu Shalom Aleichem. It's a little watching Yossi play. You know, Yossi has a keyboard which he put away on Monday of Sunday, Monday, as he went back to yeshiva. They opened up, his yeshiva have a place in Pennsylvania, and they opened up the yeshiva for the summer. And so he's back in school. And so the music is no longer in the house. It's been very, very quiet. And we sort of miss it. So it's good I have a couple recordings. So we'll begin with Havenu Shalom Aleichem. Here we go. Shalom Aleichem. Havenu Shalom. Havenu Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Aleichem. Havenu Shalom Aleichem. Havenu Shalom Aleichem. Havenu Shalom Aleichem. Havenu Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. you, Yossi, wherever you are. I actually got a pre-Shabbos call from him, which was really nice. Good to hear his voice. He's doing very well, Baruch Hashem, and happy to be back with his friends. Okay, so I found a little insight that I thought of. Last week I mentioned that it was hard to find a meditation, an additional meditation to the Yedid Nefesh that we sing every Friday night. So I put a little something together, didn't make it up, but I will read it, and hopefully this will resonate with all of us and give us something to meditate on while we sing Yedid Nefesh. So meditation number 4 it is. In 1954, the Rebbe accepted leadership in 1951. In 1954, the Rebbe paid a Shiva visit with a prominent Jewish leader, many years his senior, for a Shiva call. Okay, the cream of religious Jewish leadership were present, and the young Rebbe made a very favorable impression on them. I see I have to make some grammar corrections here, but anyway, the story is still good. On the way out, the Rebbe was approached by one of the rabbis who said to him, "Lubavitcher Rebbe, I am afraid I am becoming one of your Chassidim." The Rebbe looked at him with a disarming smile and said, "Why must it be with fear? Let it be out of love." I actually found this story online, but I actually heard it from, I believe, someone who was the Rebbe's driver at the time, who heard it live. He was there when this story was what happened, which means sometimes we do things out of fear. And the Rebbe reminded us that we could also do them out of love. There's no need to be a Jew out of fear. We could be a Jew out of love. We can have a relationship with God through love. And so in Yedid Nefesh, in the prayer that we sing every Friday, we read the words Nafshi cholat ahavatecha, which means my soul is sick for your love. So basically, I'm love sick. I'm sick with love. Why are we using the word sick? So, people in America, it's become there's a slang word, right? Oh, it's so sick, and sometimes it actually means it's great or it's amazing. The teenagers use it a lot and say, "Oh, that is sick," and it really means it's amazing. But it's funny that this is back in the Yedid Nefesh in a prayer. Which is 500-600 years old at least. I think on meditation 1, it says the year that it was composed. But why do we use the term sick? And so here's a little thought. Love is contagious. Love is infectious. In recent months, we have all become experts in how infections are spread and familiar with the concept of super spreaders. Perhaps becoming sick with love could mean becoming a super spreader of love. And as love for God, as the love for God and the love for each other increases, the healthier our society will become. And so we really got to spread that love. And it's difficult today not being able to be close to people to really express love, but we could do it in different ways, and we could express our love in the same way we do with God. We do it through prayer, through meditation, and we could express love to others as well through respect, through caring, showing our care and our interest in others, whether it's through letters, emails, phone calls, whatever we do. It's very important, and the more love we spread and increase for ourselves with others and ourselves with God, the healthier our society will become. And so this is something that we can meditate on as we sing the prayer Yedid Nefesh. And so our prayer Yedid Nefesh, I heard some more people coming on. I'm not sure who else is on, but when we sing this, there is transliteration on the left side of the next screen. And please join along. I know I noticed from seeing people's mouths move that people are picking up this beautiful melody join along for Yedid Nefesh. Yedid Nefesh of Harachaman Meshoich Avdecha Eretz Oinecha Yarutz Avdecha Kemo Yayol Yishtachave Elemul Adorecha Yeraveloi Yedidoi Secha Minoi Fesetzof V'chol Toam Adonai Zif Oilam Nafshi Choilas Ahavosecha Ana Elena Rifana La Behara Isla Noyam Zivecha Ahos Tischazeik Vesi Yisrapei V'hoi Salah Simcha Soilam Vosik Yemu Rachamecha V'chusana Al Beinahu V'cha Ki Ze Kama Nichsoif Nichsafti Lidois B'Siferes Ozecha Eilecham da libi v'chosana v'yahalti salom higolena ufrois chavivi olai esokas sheloi mecha Ta'ir eretz mikvoidecha nagila v'nismecha bach maherahov kiva moyed v'chaneinu kimeyolam did-it-ay-ay-ay-ay did-it-ay-ay-ay-ay did it ay 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 yam did it ay 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 yam did it ay 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 yam did ay 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 yam did it la da dam did it da 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 dam did it da 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 my la la lam did it ay 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 yam did it da 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 dam ay 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 yam. In Chabad is also called Lubavitch. Originally, it was called Chabad, and then they moved to Lubavitch, to a small town called Lubavitch, actually pronounced Lyubavitch, and Lyuba means love. And so we talk about love. It was something that Chabad always focused on, even before its outreach, to focus on love. There's the Rebbe actually spoke about in his first talk. He said that in 1951, he said that whenever anybody gives a public speech, so they have to, in America, there's a custom to make a statement. So he said, I'm going to make a statement. What's the statement? He said that there are three loves. There's love for God, love for Torah, and love for the Jewish people. And he said those three loves are actually interconnected and depend on one another. Without love for each other, we can't truly love God. And without God, we can't truly love one another. And the Torah is the connector between the two. So tonight, as I mentioned on my weekly video message is the 12th of Tammuz, which is the birthday of the previous Rebbe, and considered a holiday on the Chabad calendar, because in 1927, the previous Rebbe, the Rebbe's father-in-law, was arrested, received was condemned for the death sentence, which was overturned, and then he was supposed to be sent away for several years, but it was all overturned. And at the end, on his birthday that year, he got the news that he was going to be released, which was a tremendous joy and was completely miraculous. And it's one of the things that I mentioned today, and I want to talk about it because it's a holiday. And I was thinking as I was walking into Chabad this evening, I was thinking about, there was 1 year that I was standing, as many of you may have encountered Chabad students, whether it's in the city, on the streets, whether it's at a train station on a Hanukkah, or even knocking at your door at some point. And so I remember once as a yeshiva boy, I was standing on a street and someone passed by and I said, Happy Hanukkah. And that's just sort of how I get the message back, depending on how they pronounce it. Then I can get a sense of whether they might be Jewish or not. And then I could continue the conversation. So you say that you wish them the name of the holiday, and you see how they respond. So this particular person seemed to be very Jewish. And I said, well, are you ready for Hanukkah? Do you have a menorah? And she said, I don't celebrate. I'm not religious and I don't celebrate Hanukkah. And I was a young boy, I was in my late teens, but I was trying to think of a creative way of encouraging this woman to take a menorah from me and actually light the menorah and do the mitzvah. And so what I said to her is that I said, we all have celebrations and dates that are important to us. And Hanukkah is an important date because if not for Hanukkah, we wouldn't be around. We really wouldn't be around if not for Hanukkah. The Jewish people would not be around if not for the miracle of the Hanukkah story. And so lighting the menorah is an opportunity to thank God that we're still around. And she liked what I said and took the menorah. Whether or not she lit the candles, I have no idea. But I did my job. And I was thinking about this in context of the holiday Yud Beis Tammuz, the 12th of Tammuz, which is tonight, the previous Rebbe's birthday, but most importantly, the day of his liberation from the jails of communist Russia and his life being saved. And how, if not for this incredible date and what happened on that date, who knows what would be with Judaism today? Because after that, right after he was released, he left Russia, he went to Poland, and then was able to come to the United States and continue, while he was in the United States, to continue his connection and inspiration to his Hasidim back in Russia, and then the Rebbe would continue that, as well as building Judaism here in America and throughout the world. And so it's really an important date. And there's actually, when Friday night coincides with a holiday, there's a part of the Lecha Dodi, which we sing on Friday night, which we changed the words on a holiday. And there was a year when the Rebbe, it was a Friday night, the holiday of Yud Beis Tammuz, the 12th of Tammuz, as it is this year. And the Rebbe told someone that perhaps it's appropriate to change, to include those words that we include for a holiday, which is a mention of joy, the extra joy that we have. And so another thing that I mentioned, and this is an introduction to the pieces that I prepared for this evening. I mentioned in my video today the incredible opportunity, and I thank myself for the inspiration of taking Yossi as a small child to 770 Eastern Parkway on this holiday of Yud Beis Tammuz. And he was 7, 8 years old at the time. And we sat, he didn't understand the Yiddish, but I'm sure it touched his soul. Watching and listening to Reb Mendel Morozov, who grew up in the previous Rebbe's home. And when I said that he grew up in the previous Rebbe's home, Reb Mendel Morozov passed away several years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, at the age of 101. His father was one of the previous Rebbe's personal assistants, and so he literally grew up in the previous Rebbe's home back in Russia. And listening to him was extremely inspirational. I mean, knowing at the time that he was almost 100 years old and had such energy, incredible energy, and just a spark, just something warm. And so I thought I would share with you a couple things tonight. First of all, I'm giving you some introductions, but I really thought about these things, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. I'm sharing a little video now. For those of you on the phone, you won't be able to see the subtitles, and it's in Yiddish. It's only a couple minutes, and I apologize that you're not able to understand it, as he just talks about his experience in the previous Rebbe's home back in Russia, over about 100 years ago. The second thing that I'm giving introduction to both, because I forget on the slides which one comes first and which one comes second. But the other thing that I prepared was, and the subtitles there too, but this I'll share what it is. When the previous Rebbe was taken to jail in 1927, there was a chassid, I knew his son, who was very musical, and he composed a melody expressing his hope and faith that the previous Rebbe would come back home. And I think it's important for us to realize that when we increase our faith and our hope, it has an impact. It really, really is important. And so today, especially when, again, we're still in a very difficult time. Thank God, not as difficult as it was a couple months ago, but life is not the way it should be. And we need to recognize the importance of having hope and faith. And so hopefully this Hasidic melody, as it was sung by the Rebbe's Farbrengen, will inspire us and touch our soul. And so here we have, we didn't read the English of the Yedid Nefesh. Let's read the English of the Yedid Nefesh, and then we'll go to the melodies. I know that some people don't understand the Hebrew and they appreciate the English, so let's do this. Beloved of the soul, compassionate Father, draw your servant to your will, then your servant will hurry like a hart to bow before your majesty. To him your friendship will be sweeter than the dripping of the honeycomb and all taste. Majestic, beautiful, radiance of the universe, my soul is sick for your love. Please, O God, heal her now by showing her the pleasantness of your radiance. Then she will be strengthened and healed, and eternal gladness will be hers. O worthy one, may your mercy be aroused, and please take pity on the son of your beloved, because it is so very long that I have yearned intensely to see the splendor of your strength. Only these my heart desired, so please take pity and do not conceal yourself. Please be revealed and spread upon me, my beloved, the shelter of your peace, that we may rejoice and be glad with you. Hasten, beloved, for the time has come, and show us grace as in days of old. This is the previous Rebbe around, I would say probably close to the years 1927, maybe a little bit later. And this is Reb Mendel Morozov. The video is of Reb Mendel Morozov sharing his personal experience.
Reb Chonya Morozov served as a personal secretary to the 5th Lubavitcher Rebbe, Rabbi Sholom Dovber Schneerson, and his son and successor, the 6th Rebbe, Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak. His son, Rabbi Mendel Morozov, was born in 1916 and spent time in the Rebbe's homes.
Die Schwester haben sich, ein kleine Kinder, und gespielt sich zusammen mit dem Schendeln, mit Muschke, Chaim Muschke, er hat beschlelt, der Schendel gehabt in der. Sie spielen sich fast, Kinder. Aber die spielt sich in Schmuchkes, man verbindet die Egen mit Abchappen jenem. Und jener lief mal weg, los sich mit Chappen. Und Tom hat mir darf ich jenem verbinden und darf. So ein Punkt, die haben verbunden Egen. Die verbunden und sie gedacht, hab ein Punkt der Rebbe ist rein, der Sohn ist der Rebbe, ja, ist der Sohn. Das war die Zeit von Rebbe Rasham noch. Und sie hat ihn gehabt. So gebunden ist der Rebbe, ne? Sagt der Rebbe, ist Ebersee, darf Riester gehen. Der sich eingebengen sieht, verbunden. Und die Kinder haben sich gleich zugeworfen, sagt ja, der war wieder reingegangen und er ging an ihm gehen suchen. Der war ist reingegangen in der Stadt in meiner und sagt, der Stadt deiner ruft dir, der Rebbe ruft dir. Der Rebbe sagt, der Rebbe ruft dir. Dort hat er gleich gut getan, das. Und sagt, der Rebbe sucht seine Kinder, ihr sucht aber meine Kinder. Und das ist der Wort. Ja, ich bin ein Kind, nur auf mich, ich bin 6 Jahre. Verzogen in dem Mechideszimmer, als vergessen, vergessen in die Hände, als in die einfach Spaß, ich reinlaufen und umlaufen. In Rastov, die Mechideszimmer, das ist der größte Zimmer gewesen von Stück. Und dort noch, kennt umlaufen, dort. Wir fangen umlaufen über den Saal. Der Rebbe fängt sitzen, am Tisch, und ich fange umlaufen. Einmal bin ich reingelaufen, und der Rebbe fängt gesessen auf der Chair, inmitten, nicht auf dem Tisch, inmitten Zimmer, Punkt im Mittenzimmer. Da hat er mich zugerufen. Da hat er mich gefragt, wo dein Yitzchak-Teib? Ja, ich habe ein bisschen da am rechten Hand. Wo der Yitzchak-Hore? Weiß mit den Fingern. Wo deine Schome? Ich habe ein bisschen da. Fragt er mir, und was über die Fragen in deine Schome? Sind deine Schome? Ich weiß nicht. Ich soll zu wissen, als in deine Schome, ich frage nach kleinen Schome. Ich sage, weißt du, was das ist? Das hat er mir gesagt. Nach Hause gegangen, ich denke, ich dachte nicht, wir haben Bochim, was ich habe gesehen, habe nach Hause gelaufen von Rebens Zimmer. Sie sagen, ich stand noch in Horlob, es kann nach gläsernen Fenster, aber ich kenne sie noch. Ich genommen auf die Hände, sie haben mir genommen auf die Hände, sie haben mir genommen auf die Hände. Fragen, was der Rebbe dir gerät? Ja. Aber sie übergehört. Ich denke, ich habe einer hat gesagt, als ich hier schon bin, und der andere hat gesagt, das ist nicht zu Beere, ich habe mir ein Kind, aber ich denke, das ist jetzt.
So for those who didn't understand the Yiddish or couldn't follow along, 2 childhood stories. One where his sisters were playing hide and seek, and one of his sisters was it, and she after she puts on the blindfold, the previous Rebbe comes in, and she grabs hold of him, and he became it, and she put the blindfold on the Rebbe, and he starts to look around for his kids. Meanwhile, this Rabbi Morozov's father came in to tell him that his father, who was then the Rebbe, this is going back 100 years. Anyway, the song, the melody is a beautiful melody that we're going to play at this time. It's called the melody of Yud Beis Tammuz.
Reb Chonya Morozov Sholom Yosef 1916 and spent time in the Rebbe.
There we go. What happened there? Okay. So before we go on to the Tehillim, I want to just share. We're going to be doing chapter 128. But before we go into the Tehillim, I want to just share a little thought related to our Torah portion. It's in our Torah portion, we speak about the three siblings. I mentioned this the other night: Moses, Aaron, and the sister Miriam. And there were three miracles that took place in the desert. Each of them was in the merit of another sibling. So the clouds were in the merit of Aaron. The manna that came down, the food, was in the merit of Moses. And the water was in the merit of Miriam. And so the question is, why did it have to be in the merit of Miriam? Meaning, Moses was the leader. If the manna was in his merit, let the water also be in his merit. In fact, after Miriam passes away, the water was also in the merit of Moses. And what's the meaning, and what's the lesson to us? So there's a story told about after the war, one of the great the heads of one of the famous academies of yeshivas in Israel, he shared that what inspired him and made him who he is, or who he was something his mother did. What was it? And he said that when he was in Europe, when he was a small child, he and his siblings would go to study at the synagogue. And in the snow, how would they get to the synagogue? Problem was, it was very, very deep. The snow was very deep. And the family were very poor. And they only had one pair of boots. And so the mother would take the first child to the school in the morning. She would then bring the boots back and take the next child to the school. Each child, one at a time, she would take them to the school and then come back, bring the boots back for the next child. And then when it came time to go home, she would do the very same thing. She would come with the boots, bring the first child home. Give me 1 second. So again, in the evening, she would come back home. She would take the pair of boots and basically bring each of the children back home. So he said this really, his mother's dedication each and every single day for him and his brothers to be able to study Torah was really what inspired him. Now, he didn't really talk about his father, who happened to be also a great person and a person who studied Torah day and night. And the idea is that he recognized the power, the strength, the influence of the Jewish mother. And the influence of the Jewish mother could be compared to water. You have food and you have water. What does water do? And we know that Torah is compared to water. It's also compared to food. So in Torah, you have both aspects. What is the difference between what is the accomplishment, I should say, of water? And that is that water allows the food to be able to allows the food to properly to circulate throughout the body. And so the idea is that the nurture of the mother is in the same way helps break down the spiritual food and is essential. That is the nurture of the mother. The father might give you the food. He might give you the Torah, the intellect itself. But it's really the mother who nurtures that and allows it to break down and to really become real and who you are. And that's why the mother is the true educator in the home. And that's why Miriam, the water had to be in the merit of Miriam, ultimately for most of the time in the desert, because Miriam was the mother. Miriam was the mother of the Jewish people. And it was through her influence that many things happened, and very important milestones, which it's late, I'm not going to go through, but the idea is that Miriam was compared to water. Now, after she passes away, so then Moses has to pick up, and the mother's not there. And so after she passes away, the water then becomes now in the merit of Miriam, in the merit of Moshe. So the power, first of all, of water, of food and water, and Miriam being the one who nurtures that food and nurtures the life and the spirituality. And we'll finish off with Tehillim, chapter 128. And we'll have in mind anybody who is sick, who needs health, blessings for health, and any other blessings that a person might need. So we're going to pray on their behalf. I'm going to skip the meditation today. I'm just going to read the Hebrew, as it's already 7:40, and I usually try to finish by 7:45. Shir Hamalois Ashrei Kol Yirei Adonai Ha'elech B'Derachav. Yegiach Chapecha Ki Soichel Ashrecha V'Toiv Lach. Eshtecha Kegefem Poiriya V'Yarkesei V'Secha Bonecha K'Silei Zeisim Saviv L'Shulchanecha. Hine chichen yevorach gaver yirei Adonai. Yevorechecha Adonai mitzion, urei betuv Yerushalayim, kol yemei chayecha, urei vanim levanecha, shalom al Yisrael. A song of ascents, praiseworthy is every man who fears the Lord, who walks in his ways. If you eat the toil of your hands, you are praiseworthy, and it is good for you. Your wife will be as fruitful as a fruitful vine in the innermost parts of your house. Your sons will be like olive shoots around your table. Behold, that so will a man who fears the Lord be blessed. May the Lord bless you from Zion and see the good of Jerusalem all the days of your life. And may you see children born to your children and see peace upon Israel. Tonight, candle lighting is once again at 8:14 p.m. in Oltapan area, and I remind you to try to give a few coins to charity, to tzedakah, before Shabbos, to have in mind other people, especially before the candle lighting. And we'll finish off with Oseh Shalom, prayer of peace for us and all Israel and all of humanity and all of the world. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Hey, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. Before we do our weekly Good Shabbos, I want to just encourage and remind everybody, we'd love you to join us we put a lot of energy and efforts into creating. We all need a little laughter. We all need a little joy. And so we're putting together a wonderful evening for our virtual gala this Wednesday evening at 7:30, and with 4 entertainers plus other very interesting things to create just joy, laughter, and hopefully with this energy, we'll be able to get back together and have our events in person. But until then, we will rejoice and celebrate our friendship, our love, our community, which we appreciate so much. And so we look forward to seeing everybody on a Wednesday night. And I know some people who sometimes they're traveling and they can't make it to the gala this year. There's no excuses, because even if you're on the golf course, wherever you may be, you could log right in and watch the celebration. And you could be in your pajamas because it's not on Zoom. Be however you want, and just say l'chaim and join us. We will have some l'chaim. Join us together. We look forward to celebrating this beautiful celebration. Again, 14 years of Chabad Japan, of friendships and love and accomplishments, which we're very proud of, and we will never be able to do without the community. Just wonderful to think of. So give me 1 second. I'm just going to stop the live stream.